Hey everyone, Jim here, Boots and Whiskey Podcast. So just to let you know before we start the episode here, we are giving away 2 tickets to Ryan Bingham this Wednesday night at the Roadrunner in Boston. I don't know why I just said it all like that. Go to our social media on our Instagram. We're giving away like, comment, share, do all the things, and we'll see you Wednesday night. Roadrunner Ryan Bingham and the Texas Gentleman. Can't wait. Cheers.
And now, after years of planning, sweating, and going broke, here is the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
I'll alert the media.
Why they would give this man a podcast is anyone's guess.
Then there is what could only be a bizarre coincidence or something else.
Welcome to the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, sir.
Country music and fine moonshine. Finally, a podcast that lets it all hang out.
Let's level with America.
Got your boots? Ready for some whiskey?
These boots are made for walking.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
And now, the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
Hey everyone, Jim here, Boots and Whiskey Podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the show. We have Jenny Tolman on the show today. For those of you that don't know Jenny Tolman, welcome to Planet Earth, I think. She was just recently on The Road on CBS, which you're going to find out we did not watch. We did not watch that show. And now I have instant regret. We're going to go back and watch it and do that thing and check it out. But we had a great conversation with Jenny here. She's got some cool shit coming out. She does let us know about a new song coming out, or that will be out this week. So yeah, that's it. If you watched the last episode or listened to the last episode, we rambled on in the intro for a good 4 minutes. So we're not going to do that here. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it sweet. Thank you for being here. If you've never been here before, this is a podcast unlike, and I'm proud to say that, unlike anything else you've ever listened to in your entire life, where we shoot the shit. You know, there's no BS, there's no fluff, there's no nothing, there's no edits, there's nothing. What you see is what you get, what you hear is what you get. So thank you so much for tuning in and being here. And without further ado, Jenny Tolman, enjoy. So with them giving you the no plan B option, does that give it more pressure to you to do it and, you know, have a level of success to it?
I guess in a way, but I think that that's the point.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what
sure.
I mean? If you don't have a plan B, you are putting everything into plan A, and you have the drive to make it happen no matter what.
Right.
And so I think that that's been, you know, a challenge and a blessing
Yeah. Oh,
at
absolutely.
times. Because there really is, because when I stop and think about, you know, I mean, this industry is like this every single day. And so when I'm at like a low and I'm like, oh my gosh, well, what would I do? I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I don't do anything else. So I mean, it's motivating. It's extra motivation that, you know, they believed in me that much. I can believe in myself that much too.
Yeah.
And I can do this.
Now, you know, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, I guess, and about your television experience now at this point. So I'll tell you right now, I never watched it. I wanted to. I had every intention to. From everybody that I've talked to, it's like, you know, the best thing that's in that realm. That's, you know, that's out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get into that? What was the process to be on the road?
I got an email randomly, from the casting director, just saying that, you know, they love my stuff that I've got online and wanted to know if I would be interested in auditioning for this TV show. And at first, honestly, I was like, I don't know. I'm not really like into the whole TV competition thing.
Right.
It's not what I do. I've just heard too many horror stories, you know. And but they kept pursuing, and I was like, okay, like I'll feel this out a little bit. And as I learned more, I was like, oh, this is actually really interesting because, you know, first of all, Blake Shelton and Taylor Sheridan are the producers, everything Taylor Sheridan touches turns to gold.
Right. Yeah.
So that was interesting. And then getting to play our original music was another huge driving factor that sets the show apart. And also the fact that it is judged off of your performance, like a live performance with a real audience. It's not, how many people can you get to text to vote
Right.
in order to win. It's like these real people who don't know you, who've never seen you before, are voting based off of your performance. And I'm like, I know how to work stage. So I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. Sure.
Yeah.
So I just did some Zoom interviews with producers, and those went well. And they ended up flying me out to LA with a bunch of other people for executive callbacks. And that was the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life. It was like this cold, sterile room with no vibe, no verb, nothing. Just you and your guitar, 30 CBS executives, and Blake Shelton front and center.
Jesus, no pressure.
And you're like, so scared. But I guess I did okay because they chose me from that. So yeah, they chose 12 of us, and it was like all of a sudden they were like, congrats, you're on the road. And we were all like, what does that mean?
Right.
It was so fun. Like, I like to describe it as country music summer camp because it was just so fun. Like, the first few days, I was so homesick, so just like distraught. I had left my baby for the first time. He was 2 years old at the time. And I was just like, what am I doing? I'm a terrible mom. I'm just like awful. And after a few days, I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
No one needs me.
Right.
Like, I never want to go home. You have all these new best friends and you're like instant family, just like summer camp. So it was so fun. The best experience ever. I loved it. Like, so grateful. And I mean, to get to open for Keith Urban every night and watch him from side stage and just like
Right.
take him in as a presence and as like the way that he commands an audience and just knows how to work a room and put on an amazing show. I mean, that's like priceless.
Yeah.
So very, very grateful.
That's a whole TED talk right there.
Right? Yeah. It was wild. The whole time I was there, I was pinching myself. I'm like, how is this real? I don't know how I got here, but here I am.
Right.
This is really freaking cool.
Now, did you know, like, once you got there and got settled and saw everybody else, like, was there anybody there that you had already known just by being in the industry?
Yeah, I knew Adam already and Cody. My husband and Cody had written a few times before, actually, and then Adam and I had the same day-to-day manager, so I've known him for a while. So I think those were the only two that I actually knew beforehand. Yeah.
And I think, from what I know, right, again, I've never watched it. I probably should, being in this, I probably should have paid a little more attention to it than I did. But like, I also was afraid of that, it being like The Voice or being like Idol and all that. Cause like,
yeah,
like those shows are great for what they are, but it's the same shit over and over.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And, what I like.
That's why Blake wanted to make this show. Like, he talked about, obviously he spent a long time on The Voice and it did a lot for his career,
Yeah.
but he wanted to create something different that actually showed artists who know what they're doing when they step on stage. Because that's one of the things about, American Idol and The Voice. You're getting incredible vocalists, but they don't know what to do when they step on stage. And so, when their time is up on the season and they get booked all these shows, they don't necessarily know what to do with that. And so they were very intentional with casting artists who have been at this for a long time. I mean, none of us were brand new. Like, none of us had never been on stage before. We've been touring for years, so I think that was a really intelligent route to go for this show specifically, because it's literally about life on the road and just showing what that is like.
Yeah, I think that's why I had such an interest in it, even though I never watched it, but like, because it does, when you're in this thing, right, this crazy, crazy, crazy world we're in, right?
Yeah.
Like, you hear names, you see all the things that, and then you stop and think to yourself, like, why the hell isn't this person bigger than they are?
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, at the end of the day, there's just so many. Everybody's talented, you're not going to Nashville and seeing You know, even somebody that's doing covers every night at Tootsie's or whatever, they're not just,
Right.
they don't just suck.
Yeah.
You know, so it's crazy. It's just crazy
Yeah.
how, you know, and then the whole original music thing, like, you know, these other shows don't give you that
Right.
perspective.
Yeah.
Now, does that make it a
Exactly.
little more nerve-wracking though for you, where it's like, you know, I think these songs are really good, but maybe somebody else doesn't?
No, I think as an artist and a songwriter, you know, you've kind of already have to get over that when you're putting music out. That you're like, well, I believe in this song, I'm putting it out, I'm playing it for people. It's gonna have an audience, you know. It's just finding that audience. So it didn't. It honestly made me feel so much better because I don't sing a lot of covers. I was more nervous about singing the covers than
Really?
the originals. Yeah, because I just don't. I'm not a cover singer, you know. When I go out and play 90-minute shows, I'm playing 90 minutes of original material.
Damn.
And, you know, maybe 1 to 2 covers at most. And so that was when I knew that we had to do a cover every single night along with our original. I was like, I gotta dig through some stuff and see what I want to do.
Yeah. Now, you know, I wish, you know, I love that you said that, because I talk about it here all the time where I hate, like when I say hate, like I despise when artists that have original music play covers. Like I can't
Yeah,
stand it. You know, like I
I know.
get why you would have to, I get why they do, you know, I understand it. But like if you have music that's out, that's yours, that's
Mhm.
good enough for you to stand behind, play that.
Right.
And if you
Yeah.
don't have enough for a 90-minute set, that's fine. But like also don't go out on the road and be a headliner for,
Yeah.
you know, 6 weeks at a time.
Yeah, yep. It's a whole progression and evolution. You know, I've built up that arsenal of songs over, gosh, almost 10 years probably. So it takes a while, but it's, you know, I've just never, I don't know. I've just never been a cover singer. I wish I was, but I'm just not like, I don't know. I probably could become a better vocalist if I sang more
You
covers.
think
If I
so?
learned to get out of my own, you know, my own little space that I like to write
Right,
in,
right, right.
expand. So who knows? There's good and bad with everything, I suppose.
So when you start writing and doing your own stuff and all that, like where were you career wise? Like was it something that would just started out of the gate that you were writing your own stuff?
Yeah, you know, I started writing, gosh, well, I've always written. I wrote stories when I was little. I started writing stories in like elementary, middle school. And I had really, really great teachers who were very encouraging of it. And like once a week, they would let me get up and read to the class what I had written that week. So it was like super encouraged to keep being creative and writing. And so I'm very grateful for the teachers that I had, who really just, you know, saw that and encouraged it. And then when I was 16, I got a guitar for my birthday. And it was kind of this like light bulb moment of like, oh, wait a second. I can put everything that I love to do together, and it's called being a singer-songwriter because I've always sang since before I can remember. I've played piano by ear since I was 3, and just kind of like meshed everything together. It was when Taylor Swift was like super blowing up, and you know, probably even before that, or was when I realized it. Because I think I was probably in 4th grade when Tim McGraw came out, and I was like, I can do
You
this.
wait, hold on. You were in 4th grade when Tim McGraw came out?
I think so.
Oh my God.
I'm 30. How old are you?
Really? Was it that? I'm 39. I know, I know I don't look it. But Tim McGraw. So if you were in 4th grade when that came out, and I'm almost 10 years older than you. I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Maybe 5th.
No. I know. I'm just.
Maybe
It's making like
somewhere
I'm
around there,
into.
middle
Listen,
school
Jenny, I'm in
area.
denial that I'm almost going to be 40. So like when when people start talking about things that happened almost 20 years ago, I'm like, no, that's not possible. Not
Not
possible.
possible. That's funny. But it was just kind of like, I don't know. And I was so really when I was 16, it was kind of like the like fire was lit and I was off to the races. I had just gotten out of this terrible abusive relationship in high school, and that was like my healing mechanism. I was this like really depressed, sad, pitiful person And that was my way to get it out and, wallow in it and feel sorry for myself for a while. And then as I was doing that, um, I don't know, I don't really remember what made me do this, but I loved artists like Sunny Sweeney and Brandy Clark and Ashley Monroe, who had this kind of like little bit of tongue in cheekness to
Yeah.
them. And so I started writing things, trying to emulate that same vibe. And when I would start playing out places, I loved making people laugh. Like when I saw that that was a possibility, it really kind of pulled me out of this just like sad and depressing songwriter person and into someone who's like, ooh, I love the way that this makes me feel.
Right.
Like that pulls me out of sadness, is like making other people happy, making them laugh. And so that just kind of became like this addictive thing to me. So like, okay, what can I say that's like so wacky and crazy, but smart at the same time, and like to make these people's jaws drop, and you know, and I just became obsessed with that and in love with that. And so much of my music definitely falls in line with kind of like tongue in cheek and characters and storytelling and things like that. Because I think that once you make people laugh, you make them comfortable with you, and then once they're comfortable with you, they're open to hearing what the actual message of the song is.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many writers, like Shel Silverstein was my favorite writer of all time. And he is so like weird and crazy, but there's such good messages in his songs and in his writing. And Roger Miller is another great example of that. I always quote, "You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd" was one of his biggest songs. And it's just like, what the heck does that mean? That is so weird and dumb. And you hear the whole song is like all these things that seem impossible. And then, but the message is, but you can be happy if you've a mind to. And so it's like, whoa, it's actually a really enlightening song. Like it's talking all about all this stuff that feels impossible, and choosing to be happy feels impossible at times, but literally that's all you have to do. And so I just love that. I love, tricking people into thinking that you're being silly, but also at the same time you're kind of brainwashing them into enlightenment.
Right. Yeah, it's true, and it's like,
Yeah.
like from what I've heard of your stuff that you've put out, right? And the way you write and the sound, like I honestly, I come into these blind, right? And on purpose. I purposely do it so that the conversation doesn't feel forced, right?
Yeah.
But like I honest to God, like thought, this is gonna sound bad, but like I thought you were older because of how intelligent the songs are and how I don't want to say old, classic your sound is.
Yeah.
Right? Like you sound like,
thank you. I take that as a compliment.
like you're not, you're not in the realm of the, and I say this with a huge compliment, but you're not in the Megan Maroney world at all. Like you're in that Sunny Sweeney, real country music world.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I think it's, this is like I hate this term, but like old soul. I've always been older in my soul and in my heart. I mean, my husband is 21 years older than me, so I resonate a lot better with older, older things. I've never really, when I was in school, I didn't not get along with people, but I just never felt like I fit in. I mean, I don't think anybody ever really feels like they fit in, but I always felt like I was like, oh, this is so dumb. Like, I just want to do like adult things, like have intelligent conversations. I don't know. And not to say like pat myself on the back in any way, because it's also a form of torture to not be able to relate to people your own age. But yeah, I mean, I've always been an old lady. What can I say?
Now, when you do write, right, you talked about writing, for characters and whatnot. Like, how much of it is taken also, though, from life experiences and shit you've been through and all that?
A lot. I mean, I think a lot of it, like I said, when I was in high school, I was in a really ugly relationship, and that definitely distorted my worldview in a lot of ways. But I think also gave me a really strong why as to why I write and why I'm in this. Um, and I'm working on a project right now. I have a son now. He is 3. And I think becoming a mom also encouraged me to express a little bit more of my real personality, because I do have so much of the character stuff and I love doing that. But there is that like, oh, okay, maybe I need to show a little more of like who's actually Jenny Tolman and not
Right.
just like these characters that she's putting on. Um, so I've started to trickle some more of that, more personal stuff out. The whole album is going to be a lot more of that than I've ever put out before. So I'm really excited about that. Also nervous and interested to see how it reacts. But so far so good. I just put out a song called Baby Steps a
Yeah.
few weeks ago. And that one is definitely more personal. It's funny because it's the most like commercial sounding song I think I've ever put out, which is so funny because Bobby Bones ended up putting it on Women of iHeart Country last night. It aired or was it last night? Sunday night. It aired across all iHeart stations, like all over the
Damn.
country, and it was crazy. I was so grateful. So I was like, all right, this is amazing. So very, very grateful for that. And I think it really resonates with where I'm at right now,
Yeah.
because it is such, like I said, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a country singer, like all these things that are very, life defining. And just getting to sing about that and having my son sing it along with me in the car was so sweet. And so it's just really cool. It's very encouraging
Yeah.
to continue to share more like real life stuff too.
Now, when you're let me ask you this, right? Because like I had my oldest is 10, he'll be 11 at the end of the year. So I had him at 28,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, do you, for the kind of person you are, right? And you talk about being an old soul and all that, do you feel like you got older once you had your son?
Oh, for sure.
Right? Like
Yeah.
just
Yep.
mentally.
Yeah. Yep. It's a thing. I mean, it's got to be like some type of automatic, innate thing that happens where you just are forced to, like, you are in charge of someone else's life. You need to make sure you are wise, old and wise now. It still feels illegal that I'm somebody's mom. I'm like, who put me in charge of this kid? This is crazy.
Right? They just let you leave with them. Like no
Yeah,
owner's
like, are you
manual, no
sure?
nothing. Just here's your kid.
I remember getting back home the first night from the hospital and like sitting in the rocking chair holding him, and I was just like he's here for the next 18 years. Like I am in charge of this being. And it was like almost like a terrifying feeling, like this, like, oh gosh, what have I done? Type of thing. But also like I'm so obsessed and I'm so in love with this thing, this baby. So it's the greatest thing ever, hardest thing ever, scariest thing ever.
Yeah. Now let me ask you, because we've talked to a few, not a few, but like it's kind of like it been in the country music news, right? Like my friend Taylor, she just had her baby not too long ago and going through this. Like Megan Patrick is now pregnant,
Yeah.
Like when you got pregnant, did you ever think to yourself, there goes my career?
I don't think I thought that to myself intentionally. I think there was definitely worry that other people would think that.
Right, right,
Because I knew I'm like, I'm not done. Like
right.
I've got plenty more to offer. This is just a beautiful new chapter. But I mean, there's definitely been real life setbacks. I mean, it's the nature of the game. You have a baby, it slows you down in any profession for a little bit until you kind of find your footing. Um, and I like to think too, how many times have you heard stories of people who have just, chased their dreams so hard, they are successful, they get everything they want in life, but then at the end of the day, they have no family and no one to share it with.
Right.
And
Yeah.
like, what does that actually mean? And, my husband and I talk about it all the time because we're talking about baby number 2. And like, when is the time right for that, And because we go back and forth and, we had the conversation. We're like, okay, when you're 100 and I'm 80, will we wish that we had more children? And we both say yes. I'm like, okay, well, there's our answer. And so I like to think of it as that. I am currently in the process of building my career, and it's fun and it's crazy and it's such a blessing to get to do, but it is not what I'm going to be most proud of when I am old and wrinkly, and I'm going to want a house full of kids and grandkids at Christmas, and that's what is so fulfilling. So I think there's been setbacks. There's been people who I've lost along the
Oh,
way,
I'm sure.
team members who didn't believe as strongly as I did that I could make it all happen. And that's really hard. But I mean, I think it's just more motivation than anything. You have this child now that you want the world for. And, I'm like, okay, no plan B, and I have a baby. Let's go.
Right. And, I find, now that I've asked you this or talking about this, and I've talked about it now a couple of times now with other women, I hate the fact that I even asked you all of this, because it's like I would never have asked a guy the same question.
Well, it doesn't bother me. It's natural. Moms, I don't hate, like, what is that? Is it the patriarchy? Not even
Yeah.
that. But I don't hate that. I'm like, I get it. Moms are supposed to stay home. That's how it works perfectly. In a perfect world, you have the provider, you have the nurturer at home with the kids. It makes sense. And I mean, having a baby, you see why that is the case.
Right.
The dad can't do all the things that the mom needs to do for the baby. And so I don't take it as an insult at all. I think it's I don't know why people get upset when they're like, well, you wouldn't ask a man this. I'm like, well, yeah, you're not a man.
That's, you know what? I'm glad you said it, because it's like I already get myself in enough trouble with the shit I say. So
no, I don't find it insulting at all. I'm like, it's a natural question. I'm a woman.
Yeah.
Who's a
It's just,
mom? I'm supposed to be different.
It's just funny because, especially in this industry where, there are plenty of guys that are like successful enough that could take time off the road or from doing what they're doing or whatever to, but it would, it's kind of like, we talk about Megan Patrick, right? Like, I don't know Mitchell Tenpenny personally or at all, but like, I could see him taking the time off when baby comes, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
But there's other guys in this industry where I could see it not happening. It's just such a weird dynamic.
Yeah. Every family is going to be different, but no, I'm like, I'm a woman. I'm supposed to be different from a man.
Listen, Jenny, you're going to get us both canceled.
That's the most controversial statement that you could say in 2026.
You know what? I might as well just fucking close the laptop, roll it up.
Spotify will be taking this down.
Probably. I'm gonna get deplatformed. Actually, what's funny about that? So a couple of weeks ago, we lost all of our Instagram, our whole following. Like, I had a blue check mark. I had like 22,000 followers. Like, 5 years of work gone. Like,
you're kidding.
No, I wish I was. And like,
how does that happen?
I got hacked. I clicked on something that I shouldn't have.
No.
And it was,
oh my gosh.
I was devastated. I know it sounds dramatic and all that stuff.
No, I get it. I would be devastated.
But it's like a catch-22, because it's like, I don't have, right now, I think as of today, it's been like a month, right, at this point. And I may have 500 followers or so.
Oh, man.
On Instagram, and like the Facebook page, I just said fuck it and was like, I'm not even worried about that right now.
Yeah.
But like the engagement, and like now I can see how many people are looking at posts and all that.
Yeah.
Like, it's triple what it was before.
Really?
Yeah,
so it's kind of a blessing in disguise.
Kind of.
That's great.
Like, it's almost like a reset. It's almost like I could. Yeah. It's almost like I can breathe.
Yeah.
It just.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
Nice and not.
Right. But it's like, now, I had to email everybody and was like, hey, I know you're following us, but you're going to have to refollow us because, and like everybody's been super great about it, but it sucked, you know. And like I don't know if you've ever had that happen to you.
No, it's one of my worst nightmares,
Yeah.
so
Like it's bad. It was bad.
Oh.
So you talked about an announcement that you're
Yeah.
gonna make by the time this has come out.
Yes, by the time
You'll
this
already
airs,
have
it will be some
made said
announcement
announcement.
tomorrow.
So what is the announcement that's to be had that we can talk about because it's gonna come out after?
Yes. So I have a duet coming out with Gretchen Wilson.
What?
Yeah. It's crazy. Crazy. So she was our tour manager on the road.
Yeah.
And so we got to become close and friends and get numbers. And she's just like so supportive, especially a female artist. Like she's seen it all. She's a mom. She had a baby like at the height of her career with so she gets it, and she is just like, I thought that I would be terrified of her, and I still kind of am terrified of her. I kind of am still, but she's so sweet. Like
Yeah.
she is one of the sweetest people I've ever met and so talented. Like it was like shame on me. I did not realize how talented of a singer Gretchen Wilson was until I was hearing her like in front of my face.
Yeah.
Every night on the road, I was like, what? She is the most underrated
She is.
country singer. Like she's so good.
Yeah.
But anyways, I have this song called Honky Tonk Songs, and in the chorus it talks about it says, here's to the good old boys, redneck girls, and honky tonk songs. And before the show even happened, when I wrote this song with my husband Dave Brainerd and our good friend Jeff Silbar, we were like, how cool would it be if we could get Gretchen Wilson on this song? And then lo and behold, I'm on a TV show with her. And so I'm like, okay, gotta shoot my shot here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, girl. Absolutely.
so I texted her after filming was all done, and she was down.
That's
I sent her the song and she loved it, and we went in the studio, recorded it, and it's coming out June 3rd, I want to say. It's the first Friday of June. So it's either June 3rd or 4th. Is that 4th?
Hold on. I can tell you right now. So the 5th, the 5th is Friday is the 5th.
Okay, June 5th. There we go.
Shit. June 1st is already Monday?
Yes.
Fuck. You know what, girl? We're throwing this out on Monday. Fuck it.
All right, boom.
You know what?
Let's go.
There is plenty of other artists that I have that should have gone out by now, so they can wait. That sounds awful. I shouldn't say shit like that. But,
oh my goodness.
You know, like, this is why I do this show the way I do it, because I can do whatever the hell I want. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Cool. Yeah. Yep. Ooh. So I'll tell you a little inside story about us, right? So I'm awful with time management sometimes. Like I am anal retentive with a lot of things. And I get into these modes where I'll like, you know, PR teams will reach out and be like, hey, what do you got for dates? And I'm like, oh, well, I have all this time, blah, 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 blah. So I record a shit ton of episodes.
Yeah.
And then like I look and I'm like, shit. Like I have episodes from I have episodes from March that haven't even, you know. So like I was like, I can't keep just releasing one a week. So I've been doing 3 for like the last, I don't know, 3-4 weeks. And I still have, if I stopped right now after this episode and released one a week, just one a week, I wouldn't have to do anything until September.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But like I get into it, you know, like I'm, you know, I love having these conversations. So like to me, I don't even think about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good problem, I think.
I guess. So are you playing at CMA Fest? I probably should know all that information. I'm sure it's in an email somewhere.
I'm not playing an official CMA Fest stage, but Wednesday night before everything starts on Thursday, I'm playing a show. It's called Old Red on the Rise, and it's going to be really fun. Adam from The Road is also playing, and then there's 4 other artists. It's going to be kind of like Whiskey Jam style because we're all doing 3 songs each. But the cool thing about it is it's like in collaboration with the Opry. So the Opry band is our backing band. I'm like freaking out.
Like just
freaking
absolute
out.
nobodies. No big deal.
Yeah, right? Right? We get to rehearse at the Opry backstage and then go over to Old Red and play with the Opry band. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So very excited about that. So that's Wednesday night at 7:30 at Old Red.
So when does CMA Fest start?
That Thursday. So what is that? You said the 5th is
The 4th?
Friday. So
June
the 4th.
One of these.
So the 4th. So the 3rd I'll be playing.
One of
June
these,
3rd.
you know, I've been a CMA member now since like the first year we started this. Like I think after year 1 I did it. And I've been a CMA member since, and I still haven't been to CMA Fest.
What?
Yeah. And you want to know why? And this sounds awful, right? Or maybe it doesn't. I don't give a shit for the most part of who's playing in Nissan Stadium. I don't care. Right? Because it's not like, obviously we cover that stuff, but it's not what my focus has always been, right? I want to see the bands and the artists that are on, you know, the river stage or whatever the hell it is. Like those are the artists I want to see. Like if I went just to do all that stuff and didn't even get into the stadium, I don't think I would care.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could do it.
You know
There's
what?
still time.
Maybe next year.
Book a flight.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. With all the money I make from doing this, Jenny, I'll
I feel that.
I'll jump on a flight tomorrow and get it done.
Oh my gosh.
So song with Gretchen Wilson. Now, this is something I'm curious about. When, you know, you're doing well up until, I don't want to say up until you went on the road, right? But you're doing well going into being on the road, right? How much of a bump did you see just from being on the show?
You know, not as much as you might think.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think any of us really got like crazy numbers. I mean, we all got a few thousand, I would say.
Sure.
But I think in my mind, we're all like 6-figure thousands.
Sure.
But I mean, I think it's also kind of to be expected. It's a brand new show.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a built-in audience, kind of like Idol or The Voice does. But I mean, I definitely saw some type of a bump. You know, I'm playing shows now and theaters are a lot more full because there's a bunch of people who watch the show.
Sure.
And, you know, every time I play a show now, someone comes up to me and they're like, oh, you were my favorite on the show. And so it definitely made a huge difference with touring, like real life numbers, which I'm so grateful for because playing live shows is my favorite thing. Social media is not my favorite thing.
You know, I love that you said that because, you know, and like going back to talking about me losing all of that, right? I have noticed in this revamp of social media where it's not, and I've seen this over the last few years for sure, it's not always about the likes or the comments or the following. Like I feel like there's more people out there that are seeing my stuff, probably even your stuff, without the interaction.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, and I almost feel like that is more powerful than the likes and the comments and all that.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, for sure. I mean, likes and comments don't sell tickets. They don't put butts in seats. So to me, it was a huge success because that was my goal with going on the show is like, I want more touring and I want there to be, you know, I want to be able to sell tickets. I want to be able to move tickets when I'm playing these places, and that's happening. And so I'm very grateful for that. And, you know, whether social media reflects that or not, who knows? You know, it's still streaming on Paramount, so I still get random followers, random messages with people just discovering the show. So I mean, there's no downside in my opinion to have being on the show. Only great stuff has come out of it.
You know, it's funny. It's like, you know, I say it all the time where it's like I see some episodes do really well and nobody will interact with like the announcements on social media. I'm like, what the like this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure you see it with songs.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, like, a great example, Baby Steps. I just put it out, got 0 playlisting, which is like a mega heartbreak for any artist when they put out a song, because that's like how you get discovered, how you get the streams and everything. But then, you know, 2 weeks later, I get an email from Bobby Bones' manager being like, hey, Bobby loves this song. We're putting it on national radio.
Right.
Across the entire country. I'm like, go figure.
Right.
Like, hey, Spotify, check this out.
Right. Absolutely.
But
You're
you
trying
know,
to get me kicked off of Spotify, aren't you? Like, what the fuck, man?
am I a little bitter?
I thought we were friends, Jenny. Like, just like, you know, she's like,
Oh
Jim,
my God.
we're going down together. Man. Listen,
Just kidding, Spotify. I love you, but
I'm just kidding, girl. But it's like, you know, we even put these out on like YouTube, right?
yeah.
And I thought the YouTube audience would be bigger than it is,
Mhm.
you know, for us. And like, I don't necessarily push it per se, but like it's there just, you know, for people that are against Spotify and
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it's crazy the way, like, I know in my soul people are seeing these or listening to these regardless of what the numbers say, you know, and
Right. Yeah.
it is what it is,
Yeah.
you know.
I feel it. I feel you.
So, all right. So we got a song with Gretchen coming. And so when's the album coming out?
I can't tell you yet, but
Is it because this?
soon,
Oh, fine, whatever.
soon-ish. Expect sometime in August, I would say.
Okay.
But I'll tell you about this other cool thing that I get to do.
All right.
Every October, I host an all-female country festival.
Really?
Jackson Hole, Wyoming, at the $1 Million Cowboy Bar. It's called Cowgirls at the Cowboy. And this will be our 5th year doing it. So last year, it's a 3-night festival at the Cowboy Bar. And last year, our headliner was Ella Langley, which was insane. Just a little casual name drop,
Right.
you know.
Yep.
Our first year, like, we've been so lucky to have incredible lineups every single year. Our first headliner was Carly Pierce. Second was Lauren Elena. Third, Ashley McBride. And then fourth, Ella Langley.
Jesus
The
Christ.
fifth, the year this year, yeah, I cannot tell you yet, but oh my gosh, it is like iconic.
Reba?
So very excited. Very, very excited. Yeah, it's just this really cool thing that the owner of the Cowboy Bar, his name was Bill Baxter. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple years ago, but he was a huge supporter of mine. I went out and played a show there in October of 2020, and he became such a supporter and fan of mine. And it was his brainchild because he was tired of dealing with really drunk guys playing his bar. He was like, I'm sick of these men. Like, I want to do an all-female show. Like, Jenny, will you be the face of it? Like, just you make it whatever you want. He literally gave me this like silver platter to make this festival whatever I wanted with. And I am like beyond thankful because it is such like, what an amazing opportunity I get every single year. You know, I just get to kind of make a wish list of these artists that I think would be phenomenal. I mean, like, we've had Avery Anna. It's been crazy. Like, every single year, because our first night is more of like a songwriter night. Second night is like breakthrough artist, and third night is the headliner. So Avery Anna was our breakthrough like 2 years ago, and look at her now.
Yeah.
Tiger Lily Gold, May Estes last year, Carter Faith the first year. Look at her. Like, everyone on our second night blows up. So I feel like we've got a magic touch on her.
You know, you might. You just might.
And we've had amazing songwriters too. Laura McKenna, Massachusetts girl. Yeah, it's been amazing.
That's
insane.
awesome.
So just very excited about that.
Yeah, you know, I say it all the time, and like I'll say it because you're here, right? When we started this thing, we were very female heavy. Like, I went back and looked at, you know, because we're celebrating 5 years this year, like I went back to see who was on the show early on.
Yeah.
And it was, for the most part, it was all women. And then like, it dipped for a little while where it was like pretty much all men. And then it's coming back. Like, I mean, Monday, I'm going to be releasing, as we're talking, this today, we're releasing 3 females, you know, like,
oh, wow.
So it'll be you, Caitlin Curtis, and Gracie Yates.
Oh, cool.
So like and then like 2 weeks ago it was the same thing. You know, it's just, it's weird how it ebbs and flows.
Yeah, right. No, there's so much good country music out there coming from the girls right now.
There are.
It's really fun.
It is. Well, you know what? Maybe next year, as our travel plans hopefully will go better, maybe we'll come out to the middle. I shouldn't say the middle of nowhere. That's awful. But I mean, Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Who thinks to go there?
It's the most beautiful place in
I'm
the
sure
world.
it is. I'm sure it's gorgeous.
It is.
But
it's pretty stunning.
I would love to get out there just to, pretend like I'm a real cowboy for a day. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
They've got plenty of dude ranches for you to do that.
I'm sure. Well, Jenny, thank you so much for hanging out and telling us your story.
Thanks for having me.
It's been awesome. I know it's been a little while, but congrats on being a mom and
thank you.
all the stuff you're doing, and it's cool.
Thank you so much. Well, I appreciate you having me. This has been fun.
Anytime. And maybe when the album comes out at some point that we can't talk about, let's have you back and talk about that.
Yeah, I would love to. That'd be awesome.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you.
Anytime. Well, there you have it, everybody. Our conversation with Jenny Tolman, and holy shit, I turned down the light and I don't look like I'm on the face of the sun. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for tuning in today. We also released our episode with Gracie Yates and Diamond Dixie. I literally just had a brain fart. But anyway, so thank you for being here. Go check out the Unbroken Circle lineup. You're not going to want to miss it. Get your tickets if you can and can get out there, because it's a weekend you're not going to want to miss. And you know what? I think I don't want to miss it that much. We're going to figure it out. So until next time, guys, be good to each other, and we'll see you down the road. Cheers.